Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the finale of Unpacking. The time has come in our journey where we have finally reached our final destination. We are going into our very last level. We left off in the year 2015, where we moved our girlfriend in with us into our apartment that we'd been living in for the last couple of years. And our journey is going to end us off in the year 2018, 21 years after we first originally began the game. And we have now graduated to our very first house. And if we have a look at this map, it is absolutely massive. As you can see, it has 2 floors. We have some new rooms that we haven't decorated before, such as a front entranceway, a walk-in closet, and a nursery. Because this level is so massive, and because it's going to take me so long, I will probably have to just split this up into 2 different videos. I'm gonna try and just tackle the downstairs rooms in this video, and then I'll come back and tackle the upstairs rooms in another video. And you can tell by looking at the boxes that the relationship has obviously survived, and we've moved on into a house with one another because we now have her stuff as well as our stuff to unpack. So that's really nice too, to see that things have worked out and they're at a point in their lives now where they're expecting a baby and they have their very first home purchase, something that they actually own. So I'm just going to start unpacking as I do. This first area is pretty straightforward to unpack. The only thing that comes out of any of these boxes that you may have to end up moving is this decoration, or any of these if you don't like where they are. They can all fit up here though. If you want to just cram them onto the shelf, it's no problem. And then obviously the towel doesn't go here. That has to be moved into one of our bathrooms. I like to put all of the shorter, smaller pairs of shoes onto the shoe rack. I like to leave the tall boots beside it, and then leave the umbrella stand by the front door. If I were to leave this room right now and not make a single change to it, this would be fine. The game would let me pass, no problem. I'm gonna move on to our secondary bathroom now. Now you can see that this one is extremely bare bones. This is basically just for going to the bathroom, and that is it. There is not much in the way of anything in here. We've got a lot of wall space here if we come across anything that we want to hang up. We have a little bit of freedom for what we want to maybe put on our little side table. We've got some windowsill space, but for the most part, there's probably not a lot of imaginary things that you're going to be able to do in this bathroom. We have a larger bathroom upstairs, and that's where the majority of our stuff is going to be. I'm going to leave these 2 towels in this bathroom for now and come back to this later. Moving right along, here is our office once again. Nice to see that we are still able to have our own area, our own office to continue our work. And this is the shelf that we had in our living room in the last level. So she still has a lot of the same stuff. She also has a lot of the same furniture, such as her desk. And then the rest of the stuff has also moved with her from house to house. So her office space still continues to be a nice big area just for her to do her work, which I love. Once again, still packing around all of her notebooks. That will never change. You're also going to unpack these, what appear to be children's books. That's how I took it anyways. There's a whole bunch of them. They're all exactly alike. They're all the same dimensions, and there's a whole bunch of them. Now, what gets me is that they do not have a spot for them in the nursery. And it just kind of drives me wild, because I would think that if your plan is to read your children's books to your child, you would keep them in their nursery or their bedroom, or, you know, the place where you would probably be doing said reading. But the game does not agree with me in that regard. So I am probably just gonna have to put them on my shelf that's down here. And it just, to me, I don't like it because it just seems to be so out of place. But I'm trying to do a little bit of a mix as I unpack these things of putting things in a place that makes sense, just to kind of get them off the floor or out of the way, instead of just piling them all on the floor, and actually putting things away where I want them to go, just so that I have less moving around to do later. Again, because these levels are so long, I don't want to take too long to put things together. I could easily be here for an hour doing this level. It's absolutely no problem to spend that amount of time. It is so easy still, even by the very end of this game, just to get carried away. It is still so enjoyable to me. And maybe some other people disagree, and by the time you get to this point, you're kind of bored and tired of it, but I've played this game a few different times now, and I still just really enjoy it. I'm just trying to sort of get my bearings as to where I want everything to go on her desk, because I still have a couple of other things in other boxes that I need to take into consideration, like her printer, and there might be a few other things to put on her desk as well. So I think for now, what I've got here is going to work just fine. Also loving that you can tell she's getting older, because this, to my understanding, is a wrist brace that she would wear to help her when she's on the computer for long periods of time. I just love that. They throw in just these little tiny, just very subtle details like that, just to kind of show that as the years go on that she is getting older. So I guess I've got to try and put these books away. Hopefully they'll fit here. Fingers crossed. Yes, okay, that's actually a perfect place for them to go. They're all going to fit there. As much as I would love to put them in a different room of the house, I think that's probably my best bet as to where to put them. And I will do a little bit of organizing in this room later, because I don't think this is where I want everything to go by the time I'm actually finished, obviously. But we'll come back to it later. There's going to be quite a bit of stuff that we're going to have to move around, obviously. We've got a very nice living room here. Very cozy. This looks like a wonderful family room. This is a great spot with all the stuff that you'll end up taking out of boxes. It ends up coming together to looking like a very nice family room, nice entertainment spot, you know? And I think this is where we're gonna have a lot of little tiny boxes and cases. So we're gonna have all of our Blu-ray DVDs, we're gonna have our games, we're gonna have some books. And I've obviously played around a lot with where to put books and where to stack things in all the levels that we've been through. I've gone back and kind of moved things around and whatnot. And sometimes it can be kind of hard to tell what is what in terms of if it's a book or a game case or what it is that you're looking at. Some things are more obvious than others. Like, I can tell just by looking at this that this is a GameCube game, this is a Blu-ray DVD, these are DS games. But sometimes it's not as obvious, I feel. And so one of the things I've started to do, if I'm not sure or I can't tell or it's not super obvious, is rather than look at the cover or the spine, I've started to look at the very top cover of each case because they all have a unique color to tell you what they are. So, for example, just stacking these items together, you can kind of tell by the size that they're all different things, but they all have a different color on the very top of the case. So this is a book, you can tell it's got pages. This would be something different. You've got something light gray on the top. This is your GameCube game. You've got black, and then you've got blue for your Blu-rays. I'm sure that's not a hack. I'm sure many of you out there have figured out similar strategies for organizing things, but I thought that that was kind of a neat way just to look at things, and it kind of helped me out. So our little shelf that we have over by the sliding door actually becomes perfect for unloading all of our little cases that we have, all of our games and our movies and stuff. You just gotta kind of decide where you're gonna put each thing. So I'll just continue to unpack all these little things. Obviously all the little things are slowing us down. I think this has probably been the slowest room to unpack. You can fit all of your board games underneath the coffee table if you'd like. That's my preferred place to put those things. We're gonna keep all of her movies together. And then we still have lots of space for everything else. I'm not sure what this is. Like the light blue, I can't quite discern what this is. Maybe they're Wii games. Like, I know Wii's usually white on the top, but that's kind of what I thought. That was my guess. So I like to try and keep all my video games over here. Keep all of the GameCube games together. Taking the time to do all this little sorting. And the reason I'm doing this now rather than later is because I know that this is where I like to keep all of these things, so I shouldn't have to come back at all and try and move this stuff around or sort it out at a later date. And I should be able to sort all of this in a way that it'll all fit. I may have to take the little Game Boy games off. But for the most part, I think we should be able to fit everything on this shelf. And again, everything that's come out of the box, with the exception of your kettle, can all stay in the living room. So it's also really nice because they have gotten the hang of packing over the years. And they're better and better and better about keeping things relevant and together, which is really, really nice. I'm going to quickly sneak my kettle into the kitchen. Obviously, gonna have to do a little bit of organizing. I still have lots of entertainment stand space. I've still got a lot of space up here, and I still have to decide where I'm gonna put a few things, so I will come back and organize those. We also now have a separate dining room area. I don't think we've seen that since our roommate's house way, way, way back in the day. So this will be nice. We have somewhere to eat as a family. And we have our large bookcase in here that we had in our living room in the last level. This is another area that's kind of crowded as you unpack everything, I find, just because there are a lot of books in these boxes as well. And there's our little scanner that we have for our office. Mostly books. Okay, I should probably just stack these books on this shelf anyways. Get them out of the way. We've kind of seen most of our storage space that we're gonna have for books and whatnot already. So we don't really have a lot of options as to where else we're gonna put this stuff. So it's probably a good idea just to kind of start using the book space that we have. I am still trying to sort them by size though. There's all our placemats, which we can sit out at the table. Our napkin holder. And our toaster. Alright. So that really just leaves the kitchen to unpack. Have to say, this is a beautiful kitchen. It still absolutely drives me bonkers that in all of these years, even still, we have never lived in a place, I think maybe the one exception that I can think of being our boyfriend's place, where we didn't have open-faced drawers in the kitchen. I honestly just can't think of any place that I've lived in my life where you were stacking plates and all your other dishes and your cups and whatnot in open face drawers like this. Now, this game I believe was made in Australia, and who knows, that could be very, very common in Australia or other parts of the world. I don't really know. This weird shaped bottom cabinet, it's very common for this area to be open-faced, but that's usually like a knick-knacky, you put all your stuff that you don't have room for area, so it's not really meant to hold like your breakables, in my experience anyways. So you would think for such a nice house that they would be able to get some cabinet doors. But I can't deny that this is still a very nice kitchen. I also love their dishes. I love this teal blue color that they have for their dishes. They've upgraded from just plain, boring white dishes to different color. It looks very nice. I like it. You have a lot of drawer space in this kitchen. A lot of little tiny drawers for all your little utensils and your baking stuff. You've got a large area under the sink, and then of course you've got tons of other space just everywhere, really. So I think we're gonna have a lot of freedom when it comes to this kitchen once we're actually done unpacking everything. Now I don't have a lot of space to put things other than just laying them on the floor at this point, so I am trying to sort of put things away a little bit. I still haven't brought out all of my cutlery, which will obviously go up there. So I guess I can just fill this second drawer up with all my little spoons and ladles and whatnot, and I think that will all fit there nicely. This windowsill is able to hold stuff, so I'm gonna put that little planter on there. I think having a little bit of greenery in every room is really, really nice. They have enough plants in the house that you can kind of put a plant mostly anywhere, which is nice. You can kind of have a plant in every room. Lots and lots of fridge magnets. I'm kind of just putting them anywhere. I think I want to put my whiteboard on the front of the fridge, because that seems like the easiest place to get to it in order to write notes and whatnot to each other. Put our grocery list on there. We still have all of our coffee stuff. They've graduated to a knife block. Hallelujah, look at that. We don't just have that one knife that we're carrying around now. We actually have a whole knife block. A lot of condiments and whatnot that we still have to figure out a place for as well. I miss my fridge being magnetic. My new fridge that I bought looks like it's magnetic, but it's not. It's kind of a bummer. Not that I had a bunch of fridge magnets and stuff. It didn't really look this messy, but it is nice to have somewhere where you can have a magnetic shopping list, for example. It is handy. Alright, I guess I should open up my next drawer and start putting some more stuff in. Got some tongs, a spoon, my rolling pin can go in there. I've got my measuring cups, measuring spoons making a comeback. I am going to hang up my oven mitts on this hook. I think that's a good spot for those. I believe you can hang them in the drawer or put them in the drawer if you want to. But you have two hooks, so I think that's where I'm going to keep those. I feel like this kitchen is never ending. I feel like I've been going through boxes forever. There's so much stuff I'm going to have to put away. Oh my god. Okay, trash can go in the corner. And then once I can get under the sink, I can put my paper towel away. Let's put this little utensil in here. Oh, and I have a spoon that I can't put anywhere unless I move this and put it there. I don't think I have to worry about space. I think I still have this whole drawer for stuff, so I don't think I have to be too picky about how all of this stuff goes away in these drawers because I'm pretty sure it will all fit. I'll put away all of my cookie cutters in here as well. There we go. And we still have one drawer at the very bottom. I'm gonna put away all my cleaning supplies, my bug spray. Put that all away in the proper spot for now. Lots and lots of baking trays. Some more of our plates. Trusty cutting board, and then finally our microwave. Okay, so I've saved a spot for our big plates along with our little plates. I'm gonna put those up there. And then as for everything else, I have to put the drying rack over here. I don't think I have much choice as to where that goes. I will put my bags and my saran wrap and foil and whatnot, I'll put that all down here. And I'm gonna try and put all of my spices and all of my condiments and whatnot in this little cubby area above the hood. It seems like a relevant place where all of this can go and just kind of hide up here. Trying to kind of group things together as much as I can, you know? She has her 2 random cups, or maybe we each have 1 cup that we've kept, and we can just barely fit it in with the rest of our dishes, which is nice. I am gonna put this guy in here at some point to get him organized. And I think I'll put the microwave on top of the fridge. Again, probably not the safest spot for that to go, but I think that's just kind of where that's gonna end up living. And it looks like I can fit pretty much all of my condiments and spices and whatnot up here. I'm gonna try and keep the knives and the egg timer close to the stove. Maybe keep my coffee stuff within reach as well, just because she still seems to be making her coffee. She's got all of her supplies. Probably something that she does every morning, so it's good to keep all that stuff kind of close to where you're going to be using it. Got a bunch of cups here. I'm not quite sure what to do with these. Find a place for them somewhere, obviously. I feel like it would have been a little bit easier for me to organize everything in the kitchen, but I'm actually just kind of having difficulties envisioning where I want everything to go. There are some spots that are just kind of a no-brainer because they don't have really anywhere else that they can go. So I tried to start with some of those items, and then I'm just sort of carrying on from there. You can use this top shelf if you want to. So realistically, I mean, there is a lot of room. You're not gonna run out of room. It's kind of just how you want things to look and the, you know, like, aesthetic of things, for me, is kind of what's being difficult to maintain at this particular moment. But we're starting to get there. It's starting to look a little bit better. Remembering that you can put a pot or a pan on the stove if you need to. That toilet paper obviously goes in one of our bathrooms. I can fit my grater here, so I think I'll do that. Or I could also put that there. It's too bad that the grater couldn't lie flat and go into one of these drawers, because I think that would be my preferred place for it. But I'll just have to find a spot up here somewhere to put it. So while this is not perfect by any means, I think this looks okay. I will probably play around with it a little bit off screen. Just kind of give myself a good amount of time to actually look at it and figure out where exactly I can move things to a little bit more. And then this room is just kind of a hot mess. Although it is nice to have a dining room to eat in, it feels a little bit small and crowded. But that probably isn't helped with all the crap that I have laying around. So I guess I'll just put the stuff on the bookshelf. Won't be too picky, we'll just kind of put things away. Fill out these bookshelves a little bit. I think I'll actually even just stack those that way for now. Get out my placemats. There we go. And then in the middle we can have our napkin holder and our salt and pepper and our coasters. See, that looks a lot better. I still have a few other things, obviously, that I have to find a spot for. But for the most part, I think we've done a pretty good job so far. I think, for the most part, everything looks pretty nice. Like I said, we still have an entire upstairs to unpack. I may just look at some of the extra little knick-knacky things that I have lying around and just kind of tuck them into a better place off screen. And just make a couple of little adjustments and figure out where the last kind of few things that I have laying around should go. Which shouldn't take too much effort, honestly. Just takes a little bit of moving around, but I think we're going to call the first part of this level good for now, and we will move on to the upstairs next time. We have 4 large rooms upstairs to do. A master bathroom, our bedroom, a walk-in closet, and a nursery. So we've done the bulk of the house in this first video, and we've gotten a bit of a tour into our very first home. And I have to say, pretty nice looking house. I think they've done very, very well for themselves. And it's just such a joy to see how far they've come. So I'm very much looking forward to unpacking the rest of the house in the next video that we do. I want to thank you all so very much for watching, and I hope that you will join me for our final part of unpacking next time.